Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
Madness Entertainment Group presents the Madness Comic Network with original programming and additional comic-related content.
Hey, we want to shout out to our sponsors, Daytona Beach Comic Con. If you are a fan of comic books, if you're a fan of comic book conventions, and if you like meeting comic book creators and getting comics and comic-related stuff, then you need to make your plans to attend Daytona Beach Comic Con. This year's show is September 9th and 10th. Silverline will be there, so you should make your plans to be there too. We'll see you there. If you like comics and find yourself in the Orlando, Florida area, doesn't everyone come to Orlando at some point in time to see the House of Mouse? But when you're here, you need to make it a point to visit Coliseum of Comics, especially the one on East Colonial Drive. They carry Silverline comics, even a limited edition Coliseum of Comics version of our comics. So, when you go, be sure to ask for Silverline Comics and tell them we sent you. OCD stands for Orlando Collector Deviants. OCD, Steve and Trish, they're a family of geeks who promote geek things, particularly those around the Orlando, Florida area. They're big supporters of Silverline, and we think you should be supporters of theirs too. Go give them some love. If you are an independent comic book maker and you need to get your independent comics made, you need to look no further than Kablam Digital Printing. They print our books, and they do a bang-up job. They're not only trusted by Silverline, but many, many independent comic book makers. Head on over to Kablam.com and see for yourself just how easy it is to have your comic printed by them. And tell them Silverline sent you.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
Hi, I'm Barb Kilber, co-host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham. Join us each Wednesday night as we discuss comics, literature, movies, and anything else that may catch our attention.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Silverline's Silver Sunday this November 5th, 2023. I can hear someone clicking, I think, which was unusual. Usually it mutes someone. I don't say it must not have happened this time. I don't know. I am your host. I am Roland Mann, and we're looking forward to a very fun show tonight as we talk about conspiracies. I am joined by the top troublemaker, Mr. Tom Mason.
Hi, everybody.
And the all-around con artist, Mr. Thomas Formonti.
Howdy do.
Will be leading our discussion.
We're going to be trying to lead. We'll see how it turns out.
So I don't have a whole lot in the way of news to bring you. Everything is moving along on the Kickstarter as planned or as is expected. So we're going along just fine. I broke the internet this week. If you tried to go to silverlinecomics.com, you notice that it doesn't work. I've gotten different messages. I got the 404 not found. I've got the this one doesn't work. And I've also got the message that said this website is parked and for sale. Well, it's not for sale, and I didn't mean to park it. So long story short, I was working on the update to it with a new theme, and I broke it somehow. So I've been talking to my our IT guy, Mr. Jeff Whiting, who most of you guys know, and he's helping me to get that back somehow.
Is there a conspiracy going on there?
There may be a conspiracy about the Silverline website. There may very well be.
Everybody knows my feeling about WordPress.
Yeah, and
I love WordPress, but golly, I hate WordPress.
Yeah, I may come to you this week and talk to you because
can you get into the admin?
I can't even get into the admin.
Oh,
that's what part of my problem is. I can't get into the admin, so I don't know. I can't get in and look around and poke around and so
you really broke it.
I really broke it. Yeah, I'm not sure what I did.
Yeah, man, WordPress. God,
and here's the other thing, right? So we've been using a free theme since we started. I actually bought this stupid theme. I paid for it. I'm like, I'm going to pay for one that has a cart and all that kind of stuff. I didn't pay a lot, but I bought the theme, and then it breaks everything. I was like, why didn't I just stick with a free one?
Well, there's a
you tried to install it. You should have had Jeff install it for you.
Well, he didn't install the first one, so
yeah.
WordPress.
Yeah, all right. So anyway, that's it. Pretty much it for the news. Oh, if you are a subscriber to our newsletter, I apologize because the new theme sent out a newsletter because I had it attached to.
Oh, is that the one that had all of
all the Greek text,
but it's got all the gobbledygook stuff?
Yep.
Where it's filling in. I forgot what that's officially called. Yeah.
We've had 4 Greek texts. We had 4 people unsubscribe. And I'm so sorry. I didn't mean this. I didn't even know it went out until someone said,
when I first
hey.
saw it, I'm like, what language is this in? And I'm like, oh no, that's just that fill in.
Lorem ipsum. Yeah.
I forgot what
ipsum unum, whatever. Yeah. So I am going to send out an apology.
It was a big old letter, though, that you sent.
It was. They had like 6 or 7 sections in it.
Yeah, I was like, golly, there's a bunch of updates going on and everything, and I can't read any of it.
And the thing about it is, so my son got it. He came in and he said, "Are you trying to send secret code to people?" I said, "No, but this week is about conspiracy theories, so you should start one." Yeah, so that's it for my news. So you guys got any news?
Nothing that compares to yours. I talked to the artist on my Silverline project last week.
Cool.
Yes.
We're making progress.
Sweet.
So
I love to hear that.
You should be getting things from him within the next week or so.
Okay, I can change. You can't see me. It's a conspiracy to hide me, right?
That's right.
Do it this way.
It's WordPress.
Yeah. I like the other way better. All right. But we can't read Tommy's sign in. The truth is out there.
If we're like a triptych, then we kind of look like an old Frank Miller comic. There. You look like Daredevil now.
Tommy, what are we doing tonight?
Oh my goodness. I have did some too much research. I've got too much junk, and I'm just going to stumble through this because I don't really host these things very well. And so I've got another screen.
Well, me and Tom are here for you.
Do what?
Me and Tom, we're here for you.
Yeah, I've got how I wanted to do this. Oh, wait a minute. I got to do this. Hold on. Let's see. Now, I was even going to turn the light off and make it spooky in here instead. Let me see. How does it look with the light off? Because Renee's going to turn the light off.
Ooh,
no, it doesn't look any better.
It looks like we're about to make a sacrifice.
It does, yeah. Bring out the virgin.
There you go. Renee's like, what do you? I even had some spooky music I was going to play, like some X-Files music, but then I figured, that might mess up the YouTube thing. So
yeah, it might be copyright stuff.
If you see me jumping back and forth, it's me going to my script. not my script so much, but my my little sheet that's got all the stuff. So what I wanted to do was kind of just break this down into like 3 little sections. Renee's trying to show me something over there. I was kind of wanted to do a little definition of what like a conspiracy theory, conspiracies, what to conspirers theory was. Is probably too much detail that I wrote, but I just wanted to kind of do that. And then I had 2 that I was going to go over. Both of them I have some images that I'm going to try to show, and then the second one's more of a funny one. But the first one's just ridiculous, but I love it so much I just have to talk about it. And then at the end, I was going to let you guys come up with some theories, some conspiracies of your own that you thought was pretty fun.
Tom's got them written down.
Yeah. So, hold on, Renee, you're embarrassing me, so you have to leave. You got to get up out of here. All right, my mate, she was sitting here to look at me.
That's a conspiracy. Does Renee really exist?
Does she? Well, she just.
You're just talking to somebody.
I don't know. Talking to somebody over that one.
I'll send her a link and she can get on.
Oh, golly. You want to get on, Renee? She said no.
Yeah.
Maybe for my birthday, she can come on and talk bad about me like we did for Pete that one time.
That's right.
So the definition, and these are just really short, and you can tell me if I'm running on too much. The definition of a conspiracy theory, I've got several of them here, but a theory that explains an event or a set of circumstances that, as a result of a secret plot, usually by powerful conspirators. All right. This is already getting kind of boring.
No, it's good.
Yep. A theory asserting that a secret of great importance is being kept from the public. So those are kind of some, what a conspiracy theory is, that kind of thing. So a conspiracy theory increases in prevalence in periods of widespread anxiety, uncertainty, and hardship, kind of like during wars, economic depressions, aftermath of natural disasters like tsunamis, earthquakes, pandemics, and stuff like the moon landing, Roswell, September 11, the John F. K. assassination. So that's kind of where people are building conspiracies from.
We're gonna be pretty loose with our definition.
Yes, right. Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
Right.
So that's a conspiracy theory. So
conspiracy. That's the definition.
Yeah, that's a kind of a definition. I'm sorry, this is getting kind of boring, so I'm going to go real quick. Conspiracy is a secret plan by a group to do something unlawful or harmful. So that's kind of in a line. A conspiracy is also known as a plot. It's a secret plan or an agreement between people, the conspirators or the conspiratories, that's what they wrote, for an unlawful, I know this is boring, to hide something, provide of a great importance, also like murder, treason, corruption, usually that kind of stuff. All right, to conspire means when you make a secret plan jointly to commit an unlawful or a harmful act. That's like people getting together to conspire, right? Conspirators are basically the people that are getting together, making up all this silly stuff. I mean, some of it's not silly, some of it's actually real. So not all conspiracy theories are not real. Some of them, the ones that I'm going to go over aren't real. But are real or a theory, of course, we know is a system of ideas intended to explain something, especially one based on a general principles independent of the thing to be explained. I know this is stupid. So an idea or set of ideas that is intended to explain facts or an event. Okay, so all right, that was just rambling on. I thought we'd need to just kind of say what
establish. Yeah. It's just like when you're writing a story, Tommy. You have to establish, right, where you're at, when you're at, who the people are. Yeah, no, we're establishing.
All right, so
continue on.
My first one, which I just love to watch videos and to talk about, and everybody at the office thinks the Kablam office. I mean, those people at the Kablam, I don't know who those guys are, but they think I'm crazy because they they're like, "Do you believe this?" I'm like, "No, I don't believe it, but I think it's just so fun." So flat earthers, I love the flat Earth conspiracy, or it's. So I'm going to show a picture. I'm going to try to show a picture.
So I think that is one thing we absolutely want to establish here as we have this conversation tonight. We're going to be discussing them, but that doesn't mean that we believe them. Right.
Right.
It
Well, I
means
mean, Tom might. I'm not sure.
Well, because here's the thing: if the Earth was flat, the cats would have knocked everything off the side.
I'm telling you, they sure would have. So let me see if I can't.
Yeah.
Window. Let me see. All right, here we go.
I've always thought too. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, my favorite thing would be I want to do a season of Amazing Race where they race to the edge of the flat Earth.
I know that would be great.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah. Oh, look, we've reached the end.
We reached the end of the.
We get the prize money now. We get $1 million and 2 free tickets. What am I looking at?
What
all right,
this?
Were you able to show this one picture that I shared?
Yeah. You don't see it?
Well, no, because I have to actually see it to.
Okay, yeah.
I've got to flip through my picture, so I can't actually look at our stream at the same time that we're doing.
Excuse me, it's a circular image.
Yes.
Yeah.
So generally, now they all it's confusing what these folks believe. But this is kind of one of the one theories that these guys have. Let's see. Some flat earthers believe the Earth is flat, and all the governments, that's all the governments on Earth, are trying to trick people into thinking that the Earth is round since we were little kids. So that's kind of what they think. Now, this picture is kind of the general one that they pick, where in the middle, and we'll go over it real quick. So in the middle is the North Pole, right? So they still know that there's a North Pole. They still know that there's continents and all this. Can you see my cursor that's moving around?
Sir. Yep.
Yeah. So like there's North America and South America and
so do they? Why don't they call the North Pole the center pole?
Well, it's still called the North Pole. Remember, it's kind of
where's the
and
bottom?
all around the outside. All around the outside is Antarctica. It's an ice wall, right? And this is the South Pole, but it's Antarctica that you can't go to. They've groups like NASA and our government and all the governments have got together, and they've made it so you cannot get to the edge. If you do go to the edge, you'll be imprisoned. This is some of the theories that they've come up with, and in such. There's also, I'm going to go to the next picture.
So I forget how many exact countries there are. They're like 189 countries or 180 or somewhere like that.
Yeah,
and the idea is that they all agree to this?
Yes. The whole Earth has agreed to this.
I don't know if these people have seen the news either.
I don't know. But at
any time in the last 1,000 years.
That's where a lot of this falls apart. See, a lot of these theories that are a lot of these things that these people have believe, and I don't, I'm not saying, I'm not making fun of anybody, but what some of them believe just doesn't work with other things, like the way that gravity works, or the way that the clouds are in the sky, and the way that the moon and the sun rotate, because the sun is not the big ball of flames that's way off. It may just be an LED thing up in the sky that the governments are controlling.
I'm gonna toss this in. I'm gonna say this. I think the flat Earth theory would have been easier to believe prior to sending a rocket into space.
Okay, well they've got an answer for that. You know what the answer is?
No,
it's fake.
It's fake. Yeah,
it's fake. It's all been faked. All of the stuff that NASA does and all the other people are faking all of these images from space, and everything that's up there. It's all been just faked.
So when India landed on the moon a couple months ago, is that fake too?
Yeah, it's all fake. It's all fake.
So it's not just NASA; it's basically all the governments that are sending rockets into space and showing us pictures.
They're not really doing it. They're just showing you videos of them sending it into space. So they're just kind of going into low Earth orbit, and they're just landing out in the ocean, and they're not really going into space. And then all of a sudden, the clip goes to their pre-recorded whatever it is of being in space and doing all this stuff. This is what these guys are saying.
We've got. Let me run through some comments here. We got Vic's here.
Right.
Got several of them here. Vic says, "Buonasera, Silverliners. What's up, Vic?" He said, "Let's talk Charlton Comics mob connections." Oh, that's
No.
Vic says, "I'm holding the site hostage until I get hired." Ha ha. Jim, hold on. Jim says, "What's today's conspiracy?" We're about to run through a whole bunch of them, Jim.
Yeah.
Pops at the Madness Comic Network says, "Hey, yo, what is up, Pops? Good to see you here as always." Flip City Magazine says, "Hello, what's up,
Hello.
Flip City? Good to see you here." Vic says, "I got to make like a tree, but make mine Silverline." Well, glad you joined us briefly, Vic. A bunch of hellos. So what's the conspiracy? We're running through those. Madness Comic. All right, so.
They probably went through they saw my poorly executed definitions of what conspiracy actually.
That's right, they're out.
But
so are they anti-round? Do they believe other things are round, and just the Earth is?
Well, see, there you go. See, okay, depends on which people you talk to. The things that we see, like in the distant galaxy and all that kind of stuff, they're fake.
How are they faked for all of us here on the planet, though?
Because they're all controlled by NASA and other governmental entities that are giving us the information. So we have us as people that are living on this flat pancake cannot, we don't have the capability of being able to go up there to see for ourselves. So we have to rely on what NASA and them are telling us. So yes, all that stuff from their point of view is just all mumbo jumbo fake stuff. Now, one of the other theories here is that there's a big dome, as you see in this next picture. So there's a dome, and inside the dome, there's mechanisms that hold the sun in the moon. And besides, there's other things up there that are putting the clouds and the rain and all that kind of fun stuff that we see in the sky.
So it's like that Jim Carrey movie where he's living in a movie set.
Yeah,
exactly.
Proven
We're all
Joe,
doing
yeah.
that. Yeah. And so so you can't go to Antarctica, because if you get anywhere close, they'll turn you back. And there has never been any cruise ships or anything like that that's actually gone to Antarctica and passed through the other side. What they are saying, that these cruise ships that are set up that do that kind of thing, they're part of the conspiracy too, and they're letting you go to these little islands that are kind of close, that are kind of cold, and they're pretending like they're Antarctica, and they're showing you basically like Disney-esque animatronic penguins and stuff like that are set up out there to make you think that they're actually going to but you're not allowed to go to the dome. You're not allowed to go to the wall. And the wall, depending on who you talk to, sometimes the wall is like 30 meters tall, and then sometimes it's like 300 meters tall. It's like Game of Thrones or something like that. It's just a huge wall that goes all. Now, I want everybody to know that's listening that I don't believe this. I just think it's really fun, because the way that all these theories that work with this flat Earth thing is that it's unique how these people have to bend over backwards to make all this stuff work, that it's just so much easier to go, okay, the Earth is round and we have gravity, which gravity is another one, but gravity is the cool one.
But it seems to me that these people who believe this kind of stuff have never actually been like a project manager or an editor or somebody who has to coordinate and organize a large group of people, because in order for the flat Earth theory to be even close to being, real and have all these secret governments working together, thousands of people have to sort of be in on it, and nobody leaks the truth out. There's no secret document.
Well, they are, because they're on payroll basically. So everybody that's part of this thing is on some sort of payroll, and they're all getting paid off to do this, and that's the reason That's one of the main reasons that I have this at the end of this particular segment here.
So hold on. I got another question for you then. All right.
Okay.
So
I got to tell you about gravity, though. Gravity, I love
go ahead.
what they come up with gravity.
All right.
Go ahead about gravity.
No. Go ahead.
Okay. So my question is this. All right. So NASA, if NASA
now, I'm not exactly positive I'm accurate about most of the stuff. It's just a little bit. This is so deep. I'm like 5% of like thinking that this is fun, and there's the other 95% that's just like crazy.
Right.
It's like when you go researching the Jim Jones cult. You're like, I'm not part of the cult. I'm just researching.
No, I just think it's. I like what I love about it is the mechanisms that they have to put into place to make this work. This is just so neat, rather than the Earth just being round and its mass. You know, the
it's
mass.
Like building an IKEA chair without any of the parts.
So my question is, so if they believe that NASA is the one that's responsible in controlling all this, right? So NASA is a fairly new organization. I mean, I don't know exactly when it started, but let's just say 100 years. All right, so it's 2023. You're talking about 1923. What did the people who believed in flat Earth, what do they think happened from, BC to 1922? How come these people
they didn't know any better?
That's what happens to the dinosaurs. Is they got scared by the comet and the meteor, and they just fell off the edge.
Yeah, they didn't. They were just confused because they didn't have any. I got this written down. This is kind of cool that partly answer your thing. So in 1961. There was the Antarctic Treaty, which was signed by all of the world nations that makes it so that the one goal is to keep everybody from the dome. So that's really, and I looked it up, and there is an Antarctic Treaty of 1961, and apparently the secret part about it is that everybody is signed up to it, and all of the nations pump money into this. It's just neat. It's just crazy, I guess.
Okay, here's a great one. Infrafan says, JFK found out about the Earth being flat during the space race. He planned on telling the people in Texas, but you know what happened.
So he was gonna unveil all the secrets.
The truth is out there.
So NASA was founded in 1958, by the way.
58, okay.
As an outgrowth of the rocket projects that we were working on for World War II.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's another demonstration of what now I've got the next picture after this is just what's funny, but this is kind of what they think that the flat pancake, one of the theories of the flat Earth with the dome and the suns that are rotating around some sort of a fancy mechanism that we put up there. Now, how did that mechanism who put it up there before? I don't know. They don't know either, but this is in their mind. This is how it works.
This is like I think they watch Silent Running too many times, and this is where all the plants live under a big dome.
Yeah.
All right, gravity. Their theory about gravity. This is so cool. What they've come up. They call it the universal acceleration. Is what they call it. So I've got, what did I have written here? The Earth is traveling at 9.8 meters per second squared. I don't know where they come up with this stuff, but this is what they come up with. Upwards. So picture the pancake, right? The flat Earth. It's like moving upwards. It's moving in one direction. So we're standing on the flat plate, right?
That's what's holding us down.
And so the Earth is moving this way, right? See, I can't see what my picture looks like, so I don't know if you can see my hands or not. So the Earth
we can see your hands
upwards. So we're all standing on top of this thing. So the way that gravity works is that we're being pushed into the Earth as the Earth is moving upwards. So that's how gravity works.
Okay.
Does that make any sense?
It does.
I know it doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's like
you see what I'm talking about.
It's like when we're in a high-speed elevator.
Exactly, and you feel like you're getting sucked to the floor. So just picture the whole flat pancake moving one direction at what did they say, 9.8 meters per second square, and that's Earth gravity. So that's one G of gravity.
Wow,
like
science sure is fascinating.
yeah. So what they've come up with to make this work is, and then of course for that to work, then the dome is actually holding the Earth, or holding the sun and the moon and all the clouds and all the rainstorm and all that stuff in there, and they're moving around, as the sun and the stuff's moving around. And the way that eclipses and stuff work is that they can turn the sun off at certain points, and then there's what they call a anti-sun that's on the other side of the moon that then lights up from the back side of the moon to give you an eclipse.
So this may delve too much into faith, and you may not want to go there. But how do they think this all happened? Who made this?
Here's another picture. Some people also think that there's that we could that's more, that could be like part 2 if we wanted to go into part 2. No, there is a whole lot of that involved. So a lot of this is, in my closing of this particular segment is also is a little
okay. All right,
biblical.
Gotcha. Okay. I see. Yeah, this here is from Genesis.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can actually see. So the a lot of them believe that outside the dome is water, above and below, and we're basically floating around in a big thing of water,
like a snow globe. All right.
And then one other theory is that there is, and the one reason why you can't, another theory is that you can't get to Antarctica is because there's more lands and stuff. So basically, the pancake is not just what we think of Earth and all of our continents that we know of in our known Earth, but there's thousands of them, and they keep just going out, and there's domes just all over the place, and that's why you can't leave. Is because they don't want you to know about the other domes. And then that kind of leads into some of the reason why they think UFOs and stuff, those are just travelers from the other domes coming to visit and that kind of stuff. And certain domes are way more advanced than us, and that's why the people they look a little different and that kind of thing.
So the other planets, are they round because NASA doesn't control what we see out there, or is it because they're round because they just made it up so that way they can control us and take all of our money, so they can stay in power? I haven't given anybody money yet.
Well, you moved to Canada, so you didn't give anybody any money. All right, so my last little thing is, why do flat earthers think the government is hiding the flat earth? And some claim the science is anti-religion, right? That's one of the things that you were mentioning. Yeah. And it's a way for NASA to get rich, and because NASA is really just a big global thing rather than just a U.S. thing. And some also think the reason why the government hadn't told everybody that the Earth is flat is because basically they are, let's see, what did I write? It's a cover-up of the entire scientific community. Is too embarrassed by the original mistake to admit the truth. Is one of the things. And then the other percentage of the people think that the government always lies. So why not lie about this?
And so, well, my puny brain obviously can't handle the truth. And
no,
so,
right.
No, so that's my. And there is tons and tons of fun stuff about how things work, how the how we get different seasons and how the tides work and all that kind of stuff. It's just I just think it's fascinating, all of the mechanics that these people come up with. I know it's crazy, but it's just kind of funny.
So if we blow up the moon, then the tides will still work because the moon is just a construct that doesn't really exist.
Exactly. It's just up there so they can say that there's a moon up there, and that's why you don't see the other side of the moon, because they didn't build it.
It's just two-dimensional.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the sun is basically a big light.
That's a hell of an electric bill.
Well, maybe that's why they want all the money.
Is it solar powered? Does it absorb itself?
It's, I guess, you know, every now and again, maybe they switch to LEDs or something like that. They went from incandescent to LED. But, you know, now that it's not, you know, millions of miles away, it's really close. So it doesn't have to be all that, you know, hot anymore to keep us warm.
Yeah.
So
That's right. It can be lukewarm.
And then it's also something to do with the global warming and all that kind of stuff, you know. So
I was gonna say,
whoever's in charge of NASA can make it warmer and colder and all this kind of stuff and all that.
Because it's how they can make more money out of us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep things up until they pay me. No, I'm going to cool things down.
The truth is out there.
So why did I have to set my clock back?
Yeah, that's right.
Why do I have to set my clock back to accommodate the sun that's just a light bulb in the sky?
Yeah. Hyper Potato says, howdy all. And then Infrafan, what's up, Hyper? Good to see you here, as always. Infrafan says, Paul McCartney also found out about the world being flat while on tour with the Beatles. He was quietly replaced with a lookalike. If the earth wasn't flat, we wouldn't have Live or Let Die. I have actually heard the one about Paul being replaced by a cousin.
Me too, because that's well, when we get to that, those are my favorite conspiracy theories.
Yes.
Is that somebody famous is secretly dead and has been replaced with double. Those I love, because as a writer, there's so that's a staple of spy fiction. It's a staple of science fiction. It's just great that there's a double that takes the place of people.
I think for me, I think part of what makes a good conspiracy theory is that there has to be something there that makes you go, well,
you know, some of their stuff
could be,
you know? Yeah, some of their stuff kind of, you go, when you take like one little part, like the gravity thing, right? It's nuts, but you take the gravity thing and you go,
sorry, I'm reading the comments.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, when you put your, you know, look, here's my hand. If I put my phone on my hand, the phone is sticking to my hand. I mean, I know we've got gravity in the house, but I mean, it's moving upwards. I mean, why not? Right? That sounds like it would work. You know, so, and also the ice walls keep all of the oceans from draining off the side too. I forgot to tell you about that part.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Because there's a giant spigot somewhere.
Right. The new moon is when they change the bulb. Says
it is. That's what they think. They think all of that kind of stuff. They think it's glitches, the eclipses and stuff. Everything's glitching out and everything, and they have to replace things.
They got to send the repairman out. And he can only show up between 10 and 4.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. That's what they tell you, but then they actually show up at 5:05.
That's right. Right when you're about to call and say, "What
There's
the hell?"
a window of time that they're going to come fix the moon.
Hyper says, my favorite conspiracy theory is that Roland is going to save the future by securing the publishing rights to Atari Force.
Yay!
If you get the Atari Force rights, I have a take.
Excellent.
So
it's just nuts, especially the flat Earth stuff.
That is pretty nuts.
Yeah, I watch at least a video a day, different ones, and debunking them and stuff. It's just funny. Those guys get so upset. Now, I think did I tell you, Roland? So on Facebook, there's 4 or 5 big flat Earth things where everybody's just fighting all the time. So I posted on there last week or the week before. I'm like, so am I spoiling anything, or do we all really think that just the flat Earth people are just trolling us? And that's what I put on there. And everybody was like, yeah, they're just trolling us. They don't believe it.
I think the birds aren't real people are trolling us, but I think the flat Earth people genuinely believe it.
I think there are some who do genuinely believe it.
It seems like they do. I don't think that they're that great of actors. Some of the ones I've seen.
I think it always looks like as they start talking, like as you started talking, I started thinking that this looks like a whiteboard with a lot of Post-it notes hooked up together with pins and yarn about how everything all ties together. It all starts to look like some sort of weird Jacob's ladder.
What's really bad about the flat Earth thing is that none of the different theories work together. You know, you have one idea, and then all of a sudden they go, well, what about this? And they go, well, okay, this works this way. Then you go, well, that breaks this one if you do it this way. And it's like they go, well, we're not talking about that anymore. Now we're
right. Okay. That's what's great is it's no longer flat versus round people. It's basically flat versus flat versus flat on the different.
It is. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of people.
Because all
They've got all their little
subgroups.
Yeah, and
I love
they
that.
don't like to be called flat earthers either. They call the globe people, they call them round earthers. And then the people yell at us says, "No, we just live on Earth. We don't call it round earthers."
Wait, so what do they call themselves?
You guys are the crazy people. You guys get a nickname.
What
the
do they
rest
call
of us
themselves?
are just called earthers.
The earthers.
Yeah.
Flatteners.
Sounds like a term I used in really early science fiction. My teacher said, "Don't do that."
You know, I'm going to go ahead and relinquish
Okay.
the other one because I can't believe that I actually talked this long about this one thing. So y'all, let's talk about
You
y'all.
did say you love it.
And then we can, I'll save the other because it's the Mandela effect.
Well, let Tom go next. He's got
cool.
Another one. Bullcat Studio says, "Hey, what's up, Bullcat? Glad of you to
up?
stop by." All right, Tom, go.
So my favorite is, it starts with when I first became aware of this as a child, and Paul McCartney was dead, and he'd gotten in a fight with the Beatles during their recording session, and he had left the building and he walked across Abbey Road. He got hit by a car. Oops, Paul McCartney is dead. And they bring in a look-alike, sound-alike to sort of be Paul. And there are hidden messages in the Beatles songs that after a certain date, which is when Paul died,
right,
you can either look at the lyrics or play the song backwards or whatever, and it basically says, Paul is dead, and it reveals the secret.
Yeah,
and I thought, well, as a kid, I'm dumb, I don't know anything, and there's no internet back then. It's sort of like, I wondered, so I would start looking at pictures of Paul McCartney that I would see in the newspaper, or the magazine, or on TV or whatever, and I wonder what that is. Is that Paul McCartney? But then as I got older, it's sort of like there's a whole industry of this where famous people are actually dead at the peak of their fame, and people are making too much money off of it that they can't.
Yeah, they got to keep it going.
Let that guy be dead. So, like Elvis is not really dead. He just is retired. He just it's his way out. And
I know a lot of people that think Elvis is still alive.
Right.
Yeah,
and then Hitler's double was killed in the bunker, and Hitler's actually running an auto body shop in Argentina or whatever.
Yeah, he was done. He was done killing people. I'm going to go work on cars.
This thing didn't work out. I'm out of here. And that Joe Biden is too old to be president, so he's been replaced by a double.
That's true. I believe that.
And Winston Churchill, I know he used to have doubles to go out.
Yeah.
During World War II to protect against assassination. You got
to pay me a lot of money to be your double.
Exactly, right? Because, and then the Putin is secretly dead. So the guy that we
I've heard that one. Yeah,
the guy that we see on the news is not really Putin. It's a lookalike, because a lot of those Russian guys all look like Putin. Because I think vodka does that to you, and so it fascinates me that and you can never predict who it's going to be, but at some point, at somebody's peak of fame, there'll be a theory that person is secretly dead and has been replaced by a double, because there's too much at stake in the industrial military complex or whatever.
Yeah.
So I love stuff like that.
Well, and it's it's funny because I'm not aware of any of those for any famous comic book people.
Right. Yeah. Nobody says Jack Kirby is still secretly alive, making comic books for himself.
So he can see.
Although, John Byrne comes close if you think about it. I haven't seen it, but I have had a number of people that tell me that John Byrne is doing X-Men.
He is.
Privately, on his own, doesn't sell them, right? Because that would be illegal. But
he's not coming to Kablam to get them printed, I can tell you that.
But so you've seen them?
Yeah, he posts them on his website.
Yeah, okay.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it's not a conspiracy theory. He's actually doing it.
This is not a conspiracy.
He's redoing. He's either doing. I think he's doing New Adventures of X-Men.
Because he kind of picked up like where he and Claremont left off, or something like that.
Where they split. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I haven't seen them.
Are they in color and stuff? Are they?
Well, the ones he posts on the internet are black and white.
Okay.
It's
just him and his artwork alone.
Yeah. Yeah, he hasn't coerced Terry Austin to come in and
Well, you know, I just asked that. I was like, you know, I mean, it's you got to pay somebody to help you do
Wait,
stuff. So
do
you know, he,
Did you say Terry Austin is inking, or he has
No,
not?
I said no, he's
all
not.
right. It's just him then.
yeah, it's your conspiracy theory.
Hyper says that I think he is continuing like he never left the book on his site. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've never seen it, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go check that out.
You know what? What's
Is it behind a
about it,
paywall?
I've seen it, and I don't pay anybody anything, and so you might have to pay to read the whole thing. But the pages that I saw look really, really good. It's like,
yeah,
you know, you sort of, as an older fan, you sort of look at that and go, oh, that's
fine.
why doesn't Marvel just pay this guy?
right, yeah,
Do it for real.
yeah.
Because that's the thing I don't understand about comics anyway, which is a different topic. We'll get back to conspiracies, I guess. But if you have a guy like Byrne, why wouldn't you just take him off the leash and just say, give me 2 comic books a month that look like John Byrne?
Yeah.
Make him out of continuity, do whatever.
Yep.
Anyway,
I don't get that either. Yeah.
it must be a conspiracy.
You must be. All right, so those are good, Tom. So I like historical conspiracies, right? I like the ones that you know, you can read and you find out, oh well, there's Hyper says I agree with this. Hyper says comics make 0 sense.
Some of them don't make any sense.
And from Van says, are you guys going to address the whole theory that Silverline is just an elaborate Del Taco ad?
It has been. That's for sure.
It has been, particularly around Daytona Beach Comic Con time, right?
Yeah.
Is that where is Del Taco a big thing down there?
Well, it is down here, yeah. And Tommy loves it, and Brent loves it, and so there is a Del Taco like right across the street from Kablam. So one of the things we usually try to do on Daytona Beach Comic Cons is, particularly for those who come out of town, is that on Monday morning we try to have a little Kablam tour on Monday morning after the Saturday Sunday show. And then after the Kablam tour, we do a Del Taco lunch. And then they usually
then shuttle everybody to the airport.
Yeah.
This does sound like a thing I would need to come to.
Yeah, it does sound like something you would need to come to.
I do love the tacos,
and I think we'll have to work on that.
All right.
So one of my favorite historical conspiracies is the one of the curse of the Tippecanoe. Do you either one of you guys know this? The curse of Tippecanoe. So one of our presidents, William Henry Harrison, was an Indian fighter, right? In his pre becoming a president, he was an Indian fighter, and he killed a bunch of Indians, right? So supposedly, and I don't know which Indian it was, put a curse on him, and that curse was that in every 20 years, the United States president would die in office.
Oh, I have heard.
So William Henry Harrison was the first one because he was president. He died he was elected. Okay, here's the important dates, right? He was elected in 1840. He died in office of pneumonia. Abraham Lincoln was elected in 1860. He was assassinated.
Okay.
James Garfield was elected in 1880. All these are 20 years, right? He was assassinated.
Okay.
William McKinley was elected in 1900. He was assassinated. Warren G. Harding was elected in 1920. He died in office with a heart attack. Franklin D. Roosevelt was elected in 1940. He died in office of a cerebral hemorrhage.
Okay.
1960, John F. Kennedy was elected, and he was assassinated. All these happened while they were in office. Ronald Reagan is the one who broke the curse, because Ronald Reagan was elected in 1980, which every one of these are the 20-year elections.
Right.
He had an attempted, right? They attempted to assassinate Ronald Reagan, but he survived it. Well, that broke the curse.
That's because of an episode of Quantum Leap.
Bakula went back and blocked it.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I love that. I look at it now, man, every 20 years,
Right.
That's freaky how that is so accurate.
Well, I would. Yes, it is. I would look at it as the dates line up, so let's construct a conspiracy theory to go with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But it works out
it's like
so well.
It's like the inverse. It's like if I was a writer looking at this as a project, I would go, hey, those dates line up. I wonder what I can do with that. And then,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I bet I could do.
Yeah.
I bet I could have a curse. I bet I could have William Henry Harrison do something stupid as a young man, and then curse presidents.
And then a curse was put on him. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a great theory. Isn't it though?
Yeah. He
So those dates are correct though?
Oh, the dates are absolutely.
I believe Roland's done the research.
Yeah, the dates. I mean, now whether you believe the curse or not, or whether you believe
that's
the dates are absolutely 100% correct. Yeah. So I had to look this up. I don't know this Indian's name. It's Tenskwatawa, who was the leader of the.
Don't say it 3 times. It's like Beetlejuice. Be careful.
Native American tribes, was defeated in 1811 at the Battle of Tippecanoe, led by William Henry Harrison. So his curse was on the Great White Fathers, right? So yeah.
That part just sounds like an EC comic story.
Yeah. Let's see here. Here's a fun little note. The purported curse has been criticized as a coincidental pattern, and a 2009 survey of professional historians found no interest in or insight into the curse.
Stupid science historians.
I know. What are they?
Yeah.
I have a great deal of interest in that, because I would want to know how the idea of the curse came into being to create the thing where the dates line up. I think that's I'd want, if I was an historian, I would want to know stuff.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't even look about
it's because the flat Earth people paid them off.
That's right.
All those, so they won't go into detail.
Yeah.
Tippecanoe is where they keep the giant switch that controls the moon button or the sun button.
I know. Yep.
Yeah. So there's another one. Hyper says, now I want Del Taco. It's working.
Hey, me too.
There is another one, although it is less common, and that theory is that the South actually won the Civil War, but in a deal with the federal government, decided that they would declare, because the argument is slavery was on the way out anyway, and they needed to this was an economical plan, right? So they made it as if the North had won, and then the South actually took over all of the governmental institutions, right, after the war. And the weird thing is, if you look, there is a lot of control of offices by Southerners following the Civil War.
All of a sudden, they got promoted.
Yep. So it's an interesting one that, of course, I do not believe, but it is an interesting one. You look at it again. For me, it's one of those that it's one of those kind of things that make you go,
That's interesting, because there's a conspiracy theory that says after World War II, we took all the German Nazi scientists and put them to work at NASA.
Yeah, we did that, didn't we?
The dome, because the dome was messed up.
Yeah, we actually did that.
We did that. Yeah,
not me, but other people.
Yeah, they built and they built all kind of cool.
That's
stuff.
right.
They built NASA.
they built NASA, which then created the dome that we all live in.
Well, they had to control the dome because it was falling apart, apparently.
That's right.
I still want to know who made the dome. That's my big question.
They think it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, but
I think the Star Trek people made it.
Yeah,
Roddenberry.
Because they have episodes of Star Trek that involve like that giant hand that comes in.
Yeah, yeah.
Holds the
Smacks
Enterprise.
him.
And I think that giant hand is probably part of the conspiracy that builds things.
Yeah.
There.
Tom, you got another one?
Mine was just a big long thing. It'd take more than just a few minutes.
I got one.
All right, go ahead.
So, is that lizard people basically control the government? So no matter what party you prefer or support, basically lizard people are in human form, wearing a human mask, controlling all parts of the government. So the president, whoever's in office doesn't matter. It's a lizard person. And Congress, House Representatives, and Senate, they're all lizard people, or most of them are lizard people. And that the people at the DMV, basically anytime you interact with the government, there's a high chance that one of them is a lizard person in a mask. I love the idea that somehow there are lizard people, and somehow they've they don't take over like the Walmart or whatever. They take over the wheels of government. So I would love to see them fight with the flat earthers about who actually controls.
Yep.
Well,
whether it's the lizard people or whether it's the government.
So where did all right, so I guess my questions are this. So how did the lizard people theory come about? I mean, have we seen a lizard person?
Yeah, have you not seen those weird?
That's what I want to know. I mean, where did this come from?
Golly, go look it up on YouTube. There's all kind of crazy weird pictures of folks where their lizard skin, messes up, and all of a sudden they go from a normal person to just a really funky lizardy looking thing, and it's like, well, how did this? Obviously, it's the lens are screwing up, but
there's actually a website here called Hunting for Lizard People.
Yeah, no, that's a thing.
So they're aliens, basically. They came to Earth.
Okay.
And they're shape-shifting aliens.
All
so
right.
right away, there they are.
So they're the New Marvel. They're the Skrulls, right?
Well, and it dates back to a Robert E. Howard story from Weird Tales in 1929.
Really?
Yeah. He did a story called The Shadow Kingdom. And they were serpent men described as humanoids with human bodies and snake heads who were able to imitate humans at will. And they lived in underground passages and used their shape-shifting and mind control abilities to infiltrate humanity. And then other science fiction writers were like, damn, that's pretty good.
I'm using that.
I'm using that. Because Robert E. Howard's dead at the age of 32 or whatever, so he's not going to care. So
right.
I'm going to pick up on that idea that lizard people control things, and I'm going to run with it. And then it's become a thing.
Well, it's funny because until this Tommy gave us our homework, I had never heard of the lizard people conspiracy. Now hold on. I've heard of people say the lizard people. I've heard lizard people. Right. I've heard that, but I did not realize there was an actual lizard people conspiracy until this past week when Tommy said do homework.
It's also something to do with these new cameras are getting so sophisticated it messes up their whatever that makes it so they can stay looking like people, and that's where you get some weird glitches in the videos and stuff. They're really weird, some of these videos.
It's great because what I love is that the shape-shifting aliens are so smart. They've taken over governmental positions. Yeah, like I want to know the guy who says, I don't want a government job. I just want to be a car mechanic. And I want to
make funny books.
Right. I want to make funny books. I want to be a comic book maker. I want to be an auto mechanic. I want to be a school teacher. I don't want to be a dominant lizard person who controls the levers of government.
There's your story right there, Tom.
Yes.
How much more time do we have after this? Maybe we'll go through those quizzes that I've got.
We got a little bit of time.
Okay, let me quickly run through what the Mandela effect is. Can we do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, the Mandela effect. Do what?
I said we'll end on that.
Okay, the Mandela effect. It's basically and I'll tell you why they named it that, but it's basically a conspiracy theory in which a large segment of the population misremembers a significant event or shares a memory of an event that didn't actually occur. So that's basically what it is. And so the first real question to ask you guys, and we kind of went over it a little bit when we were off the air last week.
Yeah, that was when we were off air though.
And I mentioned it to Renee a while ago, and she actually remembers it correctly. So we'll go through some of the questions, but then I want to ask you guys, when do you remember? All right, you know who Nelson Mandela is, right? He was the South African
apartheid
president,
leader,
right? That has died. So when do you remember him dying? Do you? I mean, you may not, because I don't remember, but Renee specifically remembers when it happened.
No, I don't even
She
remember.
was correct.
I remember. So I remember him making the news being freed because he was in jail for so long.
When do you think that was? Because this is also part of this.
That was probably
the reason, the naming of this effect, Mandela effect, or why they call it the Mandela effect.
I'm going to say it was probably mid to late 90s that he was freed.
Okay, so your brain has been manipulated, Mr. Rowland. Okay, so most people recall they have a clear memory of Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s. All right, he wasn't in prison in the 1980s. He was actually in prison for 27 years. He actually was released. Let's see, when was he released?
Wait, Renee remembers him dying in the 1980s?
No. Renee remembers his death.
Okay.
So he was the president. I think he got out in 90, but people remember him dying in the 80s, and he got out in 1990, sometime in 1990. I guess I could have got the right date. And he was actually the president of South Africa between 94 and 99. Okay. And he died of the ripe old age of 95 from a respiratory infection in 2013.
Oh, wow.
When he actually died. But people are remembering, that he died in prison back in the, 80s and 90s when that's not really what it was.
He was really released and became president of the country.
After he was released from
33 years.
And that's what I remember that. I don't remember all the dates. I remember the news, particularly of him being released. I
remember. I don't have any of the dates in my head.
Yeah.
So some people think, and then we're going to go to some of these little question things where you can see it, and then everybody that's watching will go, golly, my brain is, because then when I showed Renee a bunch of these and she got them pretty much all wrong. And I got most of them wrong too. And so a lot of conspiracist theory people believe that the Mandela effect is proof of the existence of time travelers changing the time and creating an alternate universe, and the rupture of the space-time continuum, something involved with the Hadron Collider something. This is all the thing that the people started realizing Mandela died when he did. People didn't realize this was until I had the date. It was like 2007 is when people started going. They started realizing his. They were wrong about his date of when he passed away. So anyway, I'm going to try to share the question.
That our memory doesn't work like we think it does, and
and there's all kind of
we tend to make up facts in our heads just to fill in the holes. Yeah. And then when people ask us questions, we're sure of ourselves because we don't want to be stupid.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. And one of the things is people don't.
So while Tommy's looking that up, so one of the things. So my dad. He remembers, you're talking about memory. One of the things he does is he can remember, I have a younger sister. He remembers our birthdays based on the vehicles that he had. It's like, well, I got this vehicle this year and you were born the next year after that. So you were born in 64, right? That's what he remembers based on the vehicle.
He's got a mnemonic device.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So, and he remembers my kids the same way, right? And not just me and my sister. He remembers my kids too, but he associates them usually with a vehicle.
Yeah.
All right, let me see if I can't share the screen here. And basically, what the doctors and stuff are saying, that they don't believe people are deliberately. So this is not one of those ones where people are telling lies. It's just they
People
have these
misremembering.
holes in their memories. But it's a group thing. It's like a bunches of
Well, and this is
millions
why
of people think things incorrectly.
Yeah, so Hyper says my memory barely works at all. I forget why I came into a room now, but I remember buying a comic in 1984.
Right, you should apply for Social Security soon.
Yeah, and see, I was just about to say something, but I forgot what I was going to say. Emperor says my favorite Mandela effect is people thinking "Who Let the Dogs Out" is a good song.
Who let the dogs out? All right, can you see this screen? Is it showing up?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to go through a bunch of these ones, and we have a bunch. If I switch tabs, can you see that I switch tabs too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is this another tab?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that'll work. Okay. Well, let's start off with Uncle Sam. What color is his hat?
My wife misremembers almost everything I did while we were dating. Said Hyper. Let's see if this works. Here we go. Uncle Sam's hat is
it red and white or blue and white?
It's red and white.
Yeah, I think it is red and white.
All right, so I'm going to pick that. No.
Oh, it's blue and white.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
All right, the Twix candy bar, right?
I mean the Kit Kat.
Yeah.
The Kit Kat.
Kit
See,
Kat.
I even had the
Yeah.
So
Twix.
is there a dash in it or not?
No dash.
So this one over here.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you pick, Roland?
I think no dash. Yeah. Kit Kat's one of my favorites.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because I ate a bunch.
Okay,
It's Halloween. I ate a bunch of them already.
Oh,
so the
man.
Fruit
I
of the
love Kit Kat.
Loom.
Cornucopia.
Does
Now-
the logo have that little baskety thing or no baskety thing?
It has
I'm
the
gonna
cornucopia because in the old TV commercials, when they had guys dressing up as the fruits, they would stand in front of the cornucopia.
Yeah, Renee and I noticed that some of these we think are incorrect, but we'll keep going anyway.
Yeah, the one on the left.
So you think this is correct?
I do.
It says.
Oh
no.
my gosh! Really?
Look at that. I'll have to check.
I don't know.
mine.
Here, let me take my pants down. I think I'm wearing something else.
Please.
All
don't.
right, the Target
picture.
logo.
Uh-huh.
All right, does it look like this, or does it look like this?
I think it's the one on the right.
I think it's the one on the left.
We'll just pick one. We'll pick the right one. Boom. Yep. The
Yeah.
one with the
Okay.
bullseye in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm a
Famous.
Walmart man.
All right. I don't know about the Saw
The-
movie.
the-
We can skip that one.
I have no idea.
Would you
yeah.
like to play a game? Do you want to play a game? I'll skip that.
Do you want to play a game? Comes from the 1984 movie
War Games.
War Games. Thank you. Yeah.
Are y'all in? We'll pick one. All right. Wrong. It's I want to play a game.
Yeah.
I watched them, but I don't remember. So, Frosted Flakes is
They're
what
great.
is it?
They're not just great. They're great.
That's right. That's right.
So what is the difference between the two? All black and blue and black. What? I
Oh,
don't
his
know
nose.
what the difference-
His nose.
Oh, his nose. Huh. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that could be an artist thing.
Yeah, I thought his nose was all black.
I think it's all black too.
Yeah. Well, in this case,
Henry, he had 8 wives.
He did. Have you heard
what's
that
he
song?
holding
Tom?
in this portrait?
Henry VIII, I am.
He's holding-
Henry
A
he's holding
glove
that-
or a turkey leg?
a glove or a turkey leg.
He's holding a
Yeah,
turkey.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I'm gonna go with turkey leg because that'll amuse me.
Yeah, I would say a glove, but
Yeah.
but turkey leg would have been really funny.
Wrong turkey leg. No, it's a
Holding
glove. Monopoly. Okay.
I
let's-
only know
oh,
this one because we talked about it.
It's
Yeah.
no monocle because I saw the Mr. Moneybags Christmas ornament at Walmart last week and he had no monocle. So
No
Yeah.
monocle.
But I would have said monocle had we not talked about this last week.
Oscar Mayer products.
It's
Which
M-A-Y-E-R.
way-
E.
Is it
Yeah.
A or E?
E.
hey,
Wait, what's it?
It's
A. It's A, because of the
my
song.
baloney has
Yeah.
a first name. It's
It's-
always
yeah.
EYER.
Okay, so Hyper says that Fruit of the Loom must have changed because they had that basket thing.
No, well, see, he's
So-
got his brain has been zapped by the nanites or something.
You can trust. You can trust the guy who likes Del Taco.
That's
All
right.
right, the
And Empress
Pokemon,
said there's a
Pikachu.
Target ad next to the Target question. That was funny.
Yeah,
Henry,
we didn't even recognize it.
we did not. No,
we're
Henry
idiots.
is adjusting his Fruit of the Looms.
So Pikachu, does he have the black spot on his tail or not?
No
I
black
don't know enough about Pikachu to know.
No
You know,
black
I drew it like I think I may have mentioned it. I drew him about 100 times out doing caricatures. I always put it on there. Apparently he doesn't. So he doesn't.
I
have the
would
black
not have
spot.
known. Yeah.
It's
How do you spell the name? How do you spell Skechers?
Skechers.
Oh, no T. There's no T.
Yeah, no T in that one.
'Cause I'm wearing them now. They're my favorite shoe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is this?
Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops. So
Like
how
OOT.
is it? Is
O
it
double O OOT.
this one?
Yep.
Yes. And then the bear.
The heroine of my childhood.
It's the Berenstain Bears. That's yeah, the top one. And I only know that because I worked at the bookstore for a long time and sold a bunch of them.
There you
All
go.
right, we're gonna jump over to another one real quick in a second because all right, what is Looney Tunes? Is it tunes like
Tunes.
cartoon or is it music tunes?
Music tunes.
It is.
T-U-N-E-S.
I believe it's music tunes. All right, let's jump over to this one real quick and then we can be done with it. Okay, so Sex in the City or Sex in the City, which is it?
But
I think
Sex
it's
and the City.
and
The City?
Yeah.
In the City.
And.
Yes, we were correct. The Darth Vader thing, is it no, I am your father, or is it Luke, I am your father?
So, except that we talked about this already,
Yeah.
I would have absolutely said, Luke, I am your father.
Everybody
Yes.
and their mother and their grandmother says, Luke, I am your father.
Yeah.
But
Because
it's
I
not.
think-
It's no, I am your father. Because they're
Because I
having
think-
a conversation.
Because I think stand-up comedians would use that as a routine and make that a joke, and so that it was easier to sell the joke if you say Luke.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not
Otherwise,
that.
you don't really. There's no point of reference as to who it is, right?
Right.
So
Is it dwarves or dwarfs?
actually,
It's F
yeah, it is F.
because they're not grammatically correct, but it is F.
That is yeah. That is yep. We talk about that in my class
The
actually.
White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Dwarfs.
In the mirror on the wall thing or whatever it's called. So is it
Magic
mirror on the wall or magic mirror on
mirror.
the wall?
Magic mirror.
I would have said mirror.
Yeah.
Wow, it's magic mirror.
Yeah.
All right, this is the one that everybody says one thing, and I haven't gone back to do the research on it, so I don't know if it's true. I'm just going by what they're saying here. So is it? My mama always said, "Life is like a box of chocolate," or "Life was like a box."
So present tense or past tense? I say present tense. Life is like a box of chocolates. Well, so here's the
Tom.
Well, I was going to say was because I think my memory is I want to say it's life is like a box of chocolates, which means I'm probably wrong, and it's probably life was like.
Because I did the same thing Tom did. See, Tom's using his logic in it. So why would it be up here if it's this one? Because this is the one that we always all say. So it's got to be was, right?
Yeah.
It's like going to your eye doctor and they're telling you read that bottom line. It's like, well, I know that's not an O because it looks like an X or an R. So it's kind of
also I memorized it with my other eye.
Yeah. Yeah. You memorized it the first time.
Yeah.
Is Baloo, does he wear a bikini top or not?
Oh yeah, he wears a bikini top.
What about
I
you,
don't
Tom?
think so. I don't think
Yes?
I
so.
don't think so.
No.
I think. Oh, he does not. Oh wow.
I remembered him wearing a bikini top too.
Yeah.
But it's
I
one
love
of
that
it's
song.
one of my two favorite Disney cartoons. So I'm all in.
The interview with the vampire, or with a vampire. Now so it's the book besides the movie, I guess, right?
I thought it was the vampire.
I think it's the vampire also.
Yeah, you got it right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he is the vampire.
Right.
He's the.
This one I didn't know either. So y'all can how do you spell Cruella de Vil?
Oh, it's Devil. It's Devil.
What do you think, Roland?
It's on the left. Yeah, the one on the left. Cruella Deville. Yeah, devil.
So Devil.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yep. Okay, this one was one that I can't believe it's true because I don't believe it. I don't believe it. So because I remember him doing stuff. So in the movie,
Infrafan said,
but
correct.
apparently they're saying that we're wrong.
So hold on.
Does he wear glasses or not?
So hold on. The Infrafan says the correct Forrest Gump quote is, "Mama always said Earth is and always has been flat."
That's right.
It's like a box of light bulbs shaped like the sun.
It is.
LEDs.
No sunglasses.
No sunglasses. What about you, Roland?
I would have said sunglasses.
I remember a scene where he slides in there and he tilts him down and he
I don't think he. So in terms of movie theme, I don't think he became the cool guy in the sunglasses until after he met Rebecca De Mornay, and he hasn't met Rebecca De Mornay in the scene where he's
in
dancing.
that scene. Yeah.
It's
wow, no sunglasses.
And there's another Pikachu. Oh, this was a weird one because I watched this as a kid.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, or it's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
No, I think Roland's right.
I think the.
It says
really? This
I'd like to go back and see some of these. And there's one coming up. I think if it's not on this one, I'll just tell y'all when we get there. Here's the Looney Tunes again. Mary Medleys, how do you think that?
I.E.
Because you guys know how to spell. Okay, so
we watched
this
a lot of cartoons.
Did you have an Adam's apple or not?
Oh man, I've seen 1,000 of these things.
I know, me too.
I don't know. I'm gonna say
I don't remember his Adam's apple because if he had an Adam's apple, he would have moved.
Right.
I think I remember him seeing it because I remember thinking that he would do some of those scary poses and it'd go it'd be kind of silly. But I think it's no, yeah.
Yeah.
The Jaws about the boat.
I don't know Jaws well enough.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
No, you are.
Oh, you are gonna. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Tom knows this stuff. Twilight Zone. So this one, jumped up one. Imagine if you will, or no particular way. What was the line?
I think it's Imagine If You Will.
I think it's Imagine If You Will. Oh, really?
No way. Suspended in time and space for a moment. Your introduction
to Janet Tyler.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of these I kind of go, does Curious George have a tail or not? Now, I knew this one because I had a Curious George.
No tail.
No tail.
I was very progressive.
This one is one that everybody always says too. When Hannibal sees Clarice for the first time.
I don't think he says hello, Clarice, because that's an affectation developed by stand-up comedians and impressionists. So I think he says good morning.
Yeah, you are correct. Golly, Tom's using the logic. Boy, I tell you. All right, this one, I remember a certain thing because I remember the joke about it, and apparently I am wrong. I want to go back and I think I've got this.
You got to go watch it now.
I've got this on tape, so I've got an old version of it. I'm going to go back and look at it.
On tape. You have it on tape?
That's before the government cleaned it up and reshot it.
I know.
She has braces.
So you remember the scene where in Moonraker where she goes to Jaws and they look at each other and then they smile at each other? You remember that scene?
Right. She's got braces and he's got the shark.
He's got the big mouth thing and stuff. And I thought that I could have sworn I that she had braces, but apparently she doesn't. See?
Wow.
Yeah, wow. And I looked it up, did some more because this one is the one that I totally was like, I almost said something bad. That's BS. And then it's like, no.
I persist. Tom is cheating by being smart.
Yeah, but ask me about any kind of math or science question, Hyper. I don't have those answers.
Who starred in the Genie movie?
Sinbad or Shaq?
Well, Shaq was in Shazam.
Yeah.
This one didn't exist. This one's not even a movie.
Not Shazam.
So
Shaq
people think it was a movie.
Yeah, Kazam. That's it.
Now, okay, this will be the last one that I'm just going to say because I don't know where the video or where the thing is. So,
All right.
and then this would be one for Roland. So, because they are everywhere I've seen is saying that this is not true, and I went and looked up the video on YouTube, and they're wrong. But everybody's saying that's wrong. So, the Queen song, "Who's the We Are the Champion"? We are the champion. Is that the song?
Yeah.
We're the champions.
So we are the champions.
My friend.
At the very end of the song, what is the last thing he sings?
Good night, Toronto. Thanks for coming.
We are the champions
Of the world.
If you go on YouTube and they show a video of that concert, he does say that, but every one of these quizzes say that he doesn't sing that at the end of the song. So maybe on the official, now the concert he does, but maybe I've got to go back and try to find a video of the LP. They're saying that the true song, he does not sing that at the end of the song.
Pretty sure he does.
I'm pretty sure he does too, because I saw it. Well, I know he did on when he did the big. What was it? The concert that they all did.
Live Aid.
The Live Aid. Yeah.
So it says here, we are champions of the world at the end.
Yeah. I just did a quick Google search of the lyrics. We're the champions of the world. Yeah.
So,
Infrafan, you're thinking of the wrong song. Infrafan says the recording does it just drops on the drums. That would be "We Will Rock You."
Yes.
So anyway,
yeah.
That Mandela effect thing is just very strange. That
it is.
People that were out there watching or whatever watch later.
The great thing about it is you could see where it would lead to a lot of bar fights. Until you had a cell phone.
Yeah, and you could look it up. So
because I've gotten into a lot fewer bar fights now that I have a cell phone, and I can settle differences by just looking stuff up.
Yeah. Fewer bar fights at Dick's Dick's Last Resort at San Diego, right?
That's right. Yeah. It's just like, hold up, I have the internet here.
Right.
That's right.
One of us is wrong.
You might want to stand back. It's 5G. So it's
that was going to be my other thing with the COVID vaccine stuff that I was going to bring up.
Oh my goodness!
But I skipped that one. That'll be for next time. Bill Gates. I was going to do the nanites to make 5G better.
Oh, chemtrails is a good one. And we briefly talked about the weather manipulation.
Obama's weather machine.
Yeah. Well, so the weather manipulation that I remember was pre-Obama, but
right. Well, whoever, because I've heard it with Obama, but I also heard the Russians have it, and I've also heard the Chinese have it. So
the Chinese supposedly are doing it, right?
It's basically whoever you believe,
right,
is going to have it. But I would say the thing about the Chinese government is it sort of makes sense, because if anybody was going to try to make a weather machine, it would be the Chinese government.
Yes.
And so
and see, that goes back to those that just make you go,
right.
Well,
because
are they?
You don't have to jump through like a million hoops to sort of believe that one.
No,
because it's not that you don't have to have like yarn connected by millions of pieces of
right.
So
you have to have a murder board.
They're trying to make it rain more in the United States so they can sell their cheap Chinese umbrellas. Is that why they're?
I think the idea is that they're basically, it's like an episode of Wild Wild West where they want to just hold the government hostage.
Yeah.
And so
we're gonna make it rain.
Watch out.
Yeah. We can give you rain in your desert.
We're gonna flood your cities. We're gonna give you nice green mountains.
Yeah.
Okay. Hyper's got a final question for us here.
All right.
He says, does anyone remember Indiana Jones throwing a pet snake, Reggie, out of a plane in Raiders? I was sure you saw that against the setting sun, but he can't find that anywhere, and he wonders if it was a created memory of his, or is he losing his mind?
But here's the thing.
Blows
if you would ask me, I would have said he threw it out, because the pilot says, "Oh, that's just Reggie," and then Harrison Ford backs up and says, "I hate snakes," which of course is a plant for the thing that's coming up later in the show.
Right.
And then
the lead. And
I thought as they were flying away, because what else could he do with it? He can't just sit there with a snake. He's gonna have to pick it up and throw it out. So if we were betting in a bar, I would have bet you threw it out.
I don't remember that well enough, Hyper, to okay. Him for saying that we're wrong here, you guys. I'm gonna go listen to the song when we're done. He goes, "No, We Are the Champions does. Queen's Greatest Hit was one of the first albums I owned because of Mighty Ducks. It just ends on the drums and Brian May's guitar thing.
It's good. There has
No,
to be
that's We Will Rock You.
The first album I owned because of the Mighty Ducks. Oh, because they played it in the.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's We Will Rock You, because We Will Rock You has the drums and the guitar that came to an abrupt end, and then they started singing We Are the Champions.
Right.
I do know, Infrafan, that Queen had, being a very avid Queen fan back in the day, I do know that Queen had different versions of some of their songs.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
It's multiple,
Because
versions.
Fat Bottom Girls.
It's not just one album it's got that song on it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the because if you have multiple versions of the same song, you can license them out at different times to different people.
Yep.
I did not know that. Well,
also, I would never trust. So maybe it is on the Mighty Ducks soundtrack that way.
Exactly.
But in the release studio album, my memory is that it's
we got to go back to the original LP when it came out the first time.
But here's a good
Roland
question.
still has it in his closet somewhere.
So Amber says
he doesn't have a record player.
So this might be one of Tommy's Mandela effects, right?
That's right.
We remember it. So I am going to Amber, don't do that. Amber says I'm willing to die on this.
But I think at the end of that Queen song, they threw the snake out of the biplane. And I think that's
and it flew out.
Yeah. And Hitler caught it on his way to Argentina, right?
That's right. Where he's opening up a little deli.
All right. Anything else, you guys? Tommy, that was fun.
That was good.
Cool beans.
Okay. So don't forget to join us, you guys, on Tuesday. Our the crew from That Silverline Show on Tuesday is they're having an Election Day special where they're voting for our favorite wacky comic book characters. I'm not sure exactly what they'll be doing, but it's Election Day special. You got to tune in for that. Wednesday, the Whammers are having comic book artist Jeff Johnson come and talk with those guys. Yep. He's
got a great Kickstarter out.
He's got a new Kickstarter going. Yep, and I think he's going to be talking about that. We will be back next week with a guest of ours, Martin Piero, publisher of Cosmic Times. And if I'm seeing right, I think Martin just had a car accident.
He had a bad accident. He's okay.
He's okay though. So
yeah, but
so hopefully maybe he'll tell us what that is next week. And just for those of you who are keeping your calendar, Mr. Mason will like this one. In 2 weeks, we're going to have Mr. Dan Danko,
my writing partner.
Yep. So that will be a lot of fun. I haven't talked to Mr. Danko in years. So yeah.
He lives in his garage.
He lives in his garage, right?
You'll see when he logs in.
Yep. It'll be fun. Hyper says, always throw the snake out. I don't disagree with that. Cool hanging with you guys. Have an awesome night. Thank you, Infra, for hanging with us.
And everybody else.
Hyper as well. So Hyper, you always do something for me here. It's time to do that, Hyper. What is that? Yeah, we're gonna get there. I'm about to say it. Hyper almost always beats me to the punch. We'll see if he has time to type it in before I say it.
He did.
Well, he does say make mine Silverline, but there's something else he always adds for us.
I don't know how you could throw the snake out.
Yeah, well. There we go. He did it. Thank you, Hyper. Like and subscribe, kids. Yes, please do on whatever format medium you happen to be watching us on. And remember, until next time, make mine Silverline.
My name is Ross Ritchie from Boom Studios, and make mine Silverline.